This is Wycombe Sound.
Hello everybody, you're listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host Dane Cobain. This is the weekly show where we have a guest each week. We head over to the Rye Zone for a short story and or some poetry. We have a weekly album review from Twangling Jack Ford, and we share some local and unsigned music as well. As always, you can find us on Facebook if you search for The Art Show on Wycombe Sound. You can also email me here at the studio on dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. That's dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. And I particularly want to hear from poets, performers, musicians, artists, fashion designers, dancers, actors, you name it. If you're doing something creative, I want to hear from you, especially if you've got MP3s that you can share with us. You can also listen again. We've repeated on Monday nights here on Wycombe Sound. We're on the Listen Again on the Wycombe Sound website, and you can find us on, iTunes, Spotify, and all of those, podcast services. So this week's episode is unfortunately a memorial episode. It's the second one of these I've done, and obviously it's no fun when someone passes away, but I want to try and do my part, I guess, to keep people's legacies alive. So today we're going to be talking about Sam Pritchard. He was a local events producer. He was a DJ and music event organizer. He put on some art shows. He was a videographer as well and a photographer. He was a very productive guy, very nice guy. He's been described a lot as a gentle giant, always had a smile. And he was also just super supportive of the local art scene as well. So I want to kick things off with a trip over to the Rye Zone for something a little bit different. And these are just some of the memorial messages that people have shared on Facebook with their memories of Sam. So I want to start with Beatriz Del Rio because she'd been Sam's partner, and so it was her message that I read where I read the unfortunate news. So I'm going to read that out for you here. So she said, "I write this through tears and it's difficult to even see the screen. I always hoped I'd never have to type these words, but it's with more sadness than I thought it would be possible to feel that I have to let you know that my partner of 9 years, Sam Pritchard, passed away last night. Some of you know we hadn't been together for a couple of months, but Sam was with me for 1/4 of my life and he will forever be a huge part of me. I can't imagine living in a world without him, but these are the cards we have sadly been dealt. Rest in peace, Gordinho. I will love you forever. Thank you for everything." And I mean, there's 207 comments on this update, again with people sharing their memories of Sam. I'm going to read a few of those out here. So Olivia Pettingill said, "I literally can't wrap my head around it. Sam was such a one-of-a-kind person. He always made time to talk to me and made me laugh. Sending you and his loved ones so much love." Vincent Del Rio said, "We were so deeply sorry to hear about it. Sam was a unique, lovely person that everybody liked. His memory will be with us forever. R.I.P. Will Bird said, "So sad to hear this. He was a beautiful soul. My thoughts are with you and his family." Stuart Thomas said, "R.I.P. buddy. Much love. One of the soundest guys you would ever meet." Ursula Sam said, "I'm so sorry to hear this. What a shock. He was a lovely guy." Shannon Orchid said, "One of the nicest people out there. I'm so shocked. Sending you and everyone so much love." Matt Coyle, he said, "So sad that such a beautiful soul has been taken so soon. Never have I met somebody so supportive and friendly. Will forever be in my thoughts." Ruby Rumsey said, "I hope you're okay. Sam was lovely. He gifted me one of his guitars." Rita Zen said, "My thoughts are with you, his family and friends. It has been a pleasure to work and have fun with him at the Blue Post. His kind and beautiful soul will always be remembered." Reese Jenkins said, "I'm sorry for your loss. I met Sam once when we were at the Tons and he was really nice. May he rest peacefully." Edward Jenkins said, "This is sad and I'm utterly shocked. Although I haven't chatted with Sam in a while, we had some great times during our teens with all the house parties and our old band Desolate Earth. Thanks for all the memories, man. Ones I still cherish and will continue to do so for the rest of my life. R.I.P. man." Sophie Chancheong said, "He was such a gentle giant and will be sorely missed." Nadege Preodat said, "I'm so sorry and sad to hear this. Sam was a really talented and great person. I was really happy and proud that we worked together. Please know that my thoughts are with you. Lots of love." Matt Kay said, "I'm sorry for your loss. Sam was an amazing person, a great friend. I met at Blue Post where we got into all sorts of shenanigans. You'll be missed, Sam." Josh Ryder said, "I'm so sad about this, B. He was such an amazing person, so talented, and he genuinely cared about everyone. Sam Pritchard, you're the real BFG and you'll be sorely missed." And then there are some other tributes as well that people posted on his timeline, which I'm going to check out here. So this was from Jake Cooper. He's been a previous guest on the show. He was in the band Phenomenots. He said, "My dear sweet friend, you were one in a million, a beautiful soul inside a giant's body and with nothing but kindness in your heart. I've rewritten this over and over again to somehow put together a combination of words to best describe you. It's only upon reflection that I've realised how big of a part you really played, not just in my life, but the life of this town. You were instrumental in the birth of the Phenomenots, the unofficial 5th member. You booked us our first ever show, travelled up and down the country with us and gave us a space in which we could practice our craft. You threw some of the greatest parties this town has ever seen, a vagabond minstrel and a maestro behind the decks. You were fiercely loyal, side-splittingly hilarious and always good fun. I'm truly going to miss you, and I'll see you at the big party in the sky with a big smile on your face. Be at peace, buddy, and I will always love you. B. Bell said, after a few hours sleep, waking up didn't seem real. You were so kind, so loved and talented. This is a massive wake-up call, and it should be for everyone. Haven't heard from someone in a while? Check up on them. Sam Pritchard would check up on me often. Rest in peace, hun. Becky Pixie Pedley said, horrified to return home to hear the news that another young man, a friend and fellow DJ, has so tragically passed away. Sam Pritchard was probably the tallest man I've ever met. I remember his head pretty much touching the roof at our tunnel crew nights down the roundabout. He had the most extensive, eclectic collection of music I've ever heard. Sam offered us Shine Eye Gals so many platforms to promote our music in places we would never have had access to, and was forever inviting us to various gigs, and we will always be eternally grateful for this. Passionate about art and music with so many varying talents, you had so much more to give and never-ending potential. My thoughts are with his parents and nearest and dearest, whose pain I'm sure is much worse than my own. I can't believe I'm writing this in past tense. You will be missed, dude. Simon Willis said, really sad to hear about the loss of Sam Pritchard over the weekend. What an incredibly cool person, driven by his passion for all types of music and providing a really good atmosphere for people to enjoy quality tunes. He always had a big smile and time for chat and was one of the few people I had to crank my neck to talk to. Rest in peace, brother, I will see you on the other side. Kevin Chan said, to my dear friend Sam, I couldn't find a picture of us together. There aren't many, maybe because you were about 2 feet taller than me and would mess up every frame. So this one I took when I coerced you into eating a vegan burger on my birthday will have to do. You took me into your home when I found myself without one, because that's the way you were, a giving soul who always tried to help others. I will miss that about you, like I will miss your restless creativity, like I will miss your willingness to strike up a conversation with anybody, like I will miss your smile as you walked into the room with news to tell me, like I will miss you asking me for advice and me desperately trying to sound sage as an older brother should, like I will miss you being the only person I could ever beat at FIFA, like I will miss having to stand on tiptoes to give you a hug, like I will miss your never-ending battle with the recycling collection schedules of Buckinghamshire Council. Like I will miss all of those times it was just you, me and Beatrice sat together in front of the TV, laughing at the world. I would have gladly lived in those moments forever. You made my life better by being in it, as you did for everyone who knew you. Thank you, goodbye and rest easy. Love forever, Kev. James Chandler said, really shocked and saddened to read about Sam Pritchard today. Genuinely one of the nicest guys I've ever met. R.I.P. buddy. Lucas Lee said, very sad news. I cannot believe this. Big loss. I'd lost for words. Rest in peace, my friend. Rachel Hall said, gutted to hear this news. I'm so sorry that we grew apart, mate, but I treasure all our years of misadventures together with pure love. From painting in the shed at the end of your garden and watching Pulp Fiction about 100 times, this trip to Dan, which was wild, you calling me basically every day after school, camping in the woods and you drinking milk to make yourself sick on a hangover, a letter you sent me when we were 14, New Year's Eve parties on the boat and the many nicknames you had for me. You were always a joy to be around and a good friend, never judging me when I messed up. This picture is how I'll remember your happy face in the sunshine in Amsterdam. Thomas Hillsden said, not sure there's anyone that supported mine and my boys' music more than Sam Pritchard. He worked tirelessly to bring music and art to Wycombe in a way that no one else did. You will live on through the music and art that you have helped create. You will be missed by so many people and I hope that you can now rest peacefully. Stuart Thomas said, only knew Sam for a few years, but in that time I got to know him. He was a great guy, super easy to hang out with and very chilled. Sometimes a bit too chilled, but that's all good. Me and Sam were once trying to set up a wedding filming company. Unfortunately, didn't manage to quite get it up and running and how we would have liked to, but that happens in life sometimes. Last time I saw Sam and spoke to him in real life, he was telling me he misses me and Steve Workman and wants to arrange a meet-up soon. Now, unfortunately, that's never going to happen. Just wanted to pay respect and say R.I.P. buddy. If you're part of the High Wycombe music scene, you will probably know Sam, as he has helped many artists in Wycombe either with DJing, production, filming and photography, so I know it's going to affect a few people. Jordanna Blake said, if you ever went raving with Sam Pritchard, then you know you defo ain't losing him. Such a blessed soul, his vibration was always high and creative with a constant smile on his face. A creator that loved helping people and being the facilitator of events. He was always a big supporter of everyone's music, whether it was rubbish or actually pretty good. So this world has lost a true G. R.I.P. man, love ya. Chris Cooper said, so shocked and saddened to hear this terrible news. True gentleman and lovely person. Derek Sand says, I don't even know what to say. You were one of the kindest people I met, and you were always there to help, not just me, but anyone who needed it. Always put others before yourself. You will be missed massively. Thoughts are with you and your family. R.I.P. mate. Andre Goliath said, "My heart goes out to Sam Pritchard and his family. I never saw you without a smile, such a good-hearted guy. Rest in peace, mister." Amelia Eve Warden said, "Knowing you since I was a child, 2 to 3 years old, we partied at your farmhouse at 16, created awesome art and drank, boozed it up and had a blast. You shot all my photo shoots and campaigns. You helped me create all my mental health photo shoots. You helped me create a short film. You sat and listened to me and brought my vision to life. You're the most creative guy I've ever met. Hearing of your passing was hard, but I know you're at peace and I hope you're still creating the amazing art you do. Love you, buddy." Gordon Smith said, "Sam Pritchard, we valued your friendship. My son Jack Smith loved exhibiting his artwork at your pop-up showcases. We both miss you so much." This is what I wrote. I said, "Still struggling to wrap my head around the loss of Sam Pritchard and trying to figure out what I can say that hasn't already been said. As well as being a kind and gentle dude who was always full of love and smiles, he was a talented photographer, a badass DJ, an epic event organiser and a huge supporter of the arts and music in particular. I saw him the day he passed because he'd come to a gig to show some support for his Phenomenots brother Jake. He was waving gun fingers during the Ilk set and singing along with Parklife, and he bought a CD and asked if I wanted to put some books out at his next art show. Even though he had a lot of his own cool stuff going on, he always went out of his way to support his friends. He was a big part of the Wycombe scene and his absence leaves a hole that will never be filled. I'm going to miss him. R.I.P. Sam." George Buck said, "Sending love to all of the family and friends of Sam Pritchard, one of the hardest working people in music I ever met, and he was one of the first, so the bar was set from the get-go. He will be hounding all the rappers up there to do a Gravity Grave night, I know it." Nick Robertson said, "R.I.P. Sam Pritchard, one of the only peeps I had to look up to speak to. What a lovely bloke you were. You'll be so missed. Sleep well, mate." Olivia Pettingill said, "I still can't believe that I'm writing this. You were truly one of a kind, always there with a smile and a laugh. You always made time to include me during band practices and would sit and talk to me for so long about everything and anything. You've touched so many people's lives in so many different ways. You are always going to be missed and loved by so many people. You wonderful, talented man, taken from us way too soon." I could keep going forever, but there's only a limited amount of time for this episode, so I just want to leave with this one from James Cornish, which I think is a really good indicator of Sam's character. So he said, "Been trying to think of the right memory to share about Sam Pritchard, and I think this is it. Sam and Beatrice came into the shop where I work and wanted to buy a tree that was on clearance. They told me they wanted it, so I went outside and carried this very heavy tree inside to put it through the till. After seeing me struggle with it, Sam's perfectly timed response was very simple and slightly bemused. 'Why didn't you just take the label off?' Hell of a way to meet again for the first time in 12 years, and hard to believe I'll never see him again." So yeah, those were just a few of the messages of condolence about Sam Pritchard. As I said, this week's episode is a memorial episode for Sam, and I wanted to share some of the music from the local, musicians that he supported. So this is U-Shaped Hole by his good friend Jordanna Blake.
Brambles through the dark, and I still have the sky and a home, you shaped I still live rent free in you.
Run away.
That was Friends Like You by the Phenomenots. Before that we had U-Shaped Hole by Jordanna Blake. This is normally the part of the show where we would have a guest in, but as I've said, this is a memorial show to Sam Pritchard. And I thought, what a better way to memorialise him than to share some of his music. So Sam was a DJ. During lockdown he did a lot of live stream at the Y Stream, which were his old studios. And so this is a part of one of his mixes, his psychedelic rock mix.
Look at her, baby. What Before she came, a storm raged deep inside of me. But she calmed the angry waves before they tore the heart from me. Her name is Melody, Melody. It's impossible to say what it's like to be with her. She's beyond the words I need to tell you what I see in her. Her name is Melody, Melody. When I die, God, look into the soul of me to see the good and the bad, but then I'll also see my love for Melody, Melody.
paths of dark and light. And I have seen the sunrise, and I've seen the night. I've seen the calm before the storm, and then the fight. And now I see the sparrows as they begin to fly.
crying all day. I was scared of getting killed. Didn't pick up my pay. I know I'll just get bills. Maybe it's all in my clothes and mind. We're living in violent times. Maybe it's in my mind. We're living in violent times. Turn the news off on TV. It always depresses me. Put my new car in the garage. I'm so scared of a crash. I couldn't wait to turn off the lights. We're living in violent times. Whoa, I tell ya, we're living in violent times. Protesting. Guess I should look on the bright side and be glad just to be alive. I'll be happy right now if I come through this and survive. I'm not imagining this, I see the signs. We're living in violent times. Hey, I see the signs. We're living in violent times. Said I see the signs. We're living in violent times. Oh, I see the signs. We're living in violent times.
Colors start to spin. You dig the state you're in. Your mind is somewhere dangling from a string. Someone's crawling on the lawn. The stereo's turned on, playing familiar songs
makes everyone's eyes out there. But I heard too much to let her bring me down. But when she's not around, I can hear the trains underground. Once I was strong, I can feel the sun going down. I can hear the trains underground. I can feel the sun going down. I can hear the trains underground. I can hear the sun going down. I can hear the trains underground.
Who planted thorns in Miss Alice's garden? Who put the black in the clothes she now wears? Where is the softness and why did it harden? And what has been broken that can't be repaired? Miss Alice, don't you see you shouldn't worry over what you lost? It's a better thing to choose it and run the risk to lose it and never know the joy that comes from our finding out. Who put the rock through Miss Alice's window, leaving the pieces all over the floor? Where is the vandal and why did he leave her? And what has he done with the key to her door? Miss Alice, don't you see you shouldn't worry over what you lost? It's a better thing to choose it and run the risk to lose it than never know the joy that comes from our finding out. Painting names on Miss Alice's sidewalk, tore her picture and left just the frame. Why is the past such a part of her future? And who did I tell her the rules of the game? Miss Alice, don't you see you shouldn't worry over what you've lost? It's a better thing to choose it and run the risk and lose it and never know the joy that comes from her finding out.
Okay, that was part of Sam Pritchard's psychedelic rock mix from one of his live stream at the Y-Stream sessions. As I've said, this is a memorial episode to Sam. We're going to have some more music now, and this is Morrell, Where You Been. Morrell is a local rapper, and this was actually shot and recorded at Y-Stream Studios, which Sam used to manage.
But now we're going to talk about Morrell, because this is the musical project of Daniel Morrell, and he's influenced by people like Mike Skinner and Jamie T, and he's actually a young dad, and he likes to draw on his experiences of this in his music. He's at Morrell Music, and this is his new single, Where You Been? It came out last week. What do you reckon?
I'm just fed up of people asking me where I've been, what have I been doing.
I can't be asked for this anymore, man. They're just asking me,
Where's he been? Where's he been?
and every time I get home, I just want to create, but they're like,
Where's he been? Where's he been?
I swear, every time I get off the phone, they're like,
Yeah. Where's he been? Where's he been?
man, I can't take this anymore, because there's too many people asking.
Check, look, anybody you truly miss me, I've been on a hiatus. I had to go back to the basics, right back to where it started. Studying legends like Marley or Marvin, looking at every detail, need to know how it was crafted. Came home from work, I switched on my computer, wrote down some words. I dig deeper, but I'm still in search. I feel like an AK that's ready to burst. It's been 6 years since I've been to church. What's your word? So I hit the studio, drop another verse. My guilt tells me that I always have to have the final words. And if the verse ain't perfect, I'll just delete it. I'll keep deleting it until I'm happy. I got a big gleam until I can bob my head and feed it through the speakers. It's out, there's no reason why I can't defeat demons. Every day they appear, I don't know no more. Don't ask me where I've been,
cause I don't really know myself. I ain't got a clue, mate. I've been walking round town trying to figure it out. Don't ask me where I've been, cause I don't really know myself. I've been walking round town trying to figure it out. I put my tears into this as I watch the minutes tick. Plan B, oh I ain't got a plan B, oh dear. Hide back the fear, keep on switching gears. We don't know if we will make it a career, but for now we're all still here, and we were made to make music, that's no doubt. We keep it underground, but it still feels like there's a drought. I'm kicking a freestyle, whipping and hitting it the beats while. If you can't see, you must be senile. Your eyes need testing. We've been here for a while, don't think we just crept in. We pitched our tents here. Try and make a movement, advertising deep and deadly secrets. Lyrics with the meaning. The end of the world, we coming like the Mayans. Daggers in our hands, blind 1 minute silence. So don't ask me where I've been, cause I don't really know myself. I ain't got a clue, mate. I've been walking round town trying to figure it out. Don't ask me where I've been, cause I don't really know myself. I've been walking round town trying to figure it out. Where's he been? Where's he been?
I've had my head down writing, trying to feed my son whilst working. A 9
Where's he
to
been?
5.
Where's he been?
This adulthood life is crazy.
Where you been? Where you been?
Don't ask me where I been.
Where's he been? Where's he been?
That was Where You Been by Morrell live at Ystream Studios. So this is the part of the show where we would normally have an album review, and I've been thinking about it and we're going to go ahead and have one. This hasn't been recorded specifically for this memorial show, but our album reviews come from Twangling Jack Ford, and to lift the veil a little bit here and to dispel the illusion, Twangling Jack Ford is actually Dave Ford. He gets his name Twangling Jack from William Shakespeare. But Dave was also a friend to Sam as well, and Sam always used to call him Davy Boy. So instead of having a review from Twangling Jack Ford this week, we're having a review from Davy Boy. So over to Davy Boy in the Ilk Shed.
Neil Young, After the Gold Rush. Now, I like the grungy Neil Young songs with the distorted guitars and the almost aimless solos and the whining about politics and stuff. And I could have quite easily chosen the album that comes before this, Everyone Knows This Is Nowhere, which is much more grungy than this, much more rocky. And most people would have chosen the album that comes after this, which is Harvest, which to me is a bit too country folky. This is quite a rock album, although there's only one real powerful rock song on it, which is Southern Man, which he has one of his traditional guitar solos in, and it's quite biting about the politics of the South, and it upset Lynyrd Skynyrd, made them wrote Sweet Home Alabama. It's also got Only Love Can Break Your Heart, which is a magnificent song, and to me it sums up the era that this album was made in, because it came out about the same time as he was doing Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and it has that major seventh harmony on it, which a lot of people use when they're a singer-songwriter. I think you usually discover it when you go to play an F and you don't put your finger on the top string and you get an F major 7. And that's just, it is quintessential 1970s singer-songwriter. But the truly great song on this album, the thing that makes it stand out, not just from the rest of Neil Young's repertoire, but probably the whole of the rock canon, is the song After the Gold Rush. It's curious that it's so popular. It's a guy with a very reedy tenor voice singing hippie nonsense with just a piano. It's got a lovely melody which anybody else would have probably be tempted to put strings and a choir on. But no, this is very pared down, it's very sparse, and it's very haunting. The other songs on the album are all really good as well. It's totally worth checking out. It's probably the Neil Young album that doesn't have any filler on it, After the Gold Rush.
That was Davy Boy with this week's album review. You've been listening to The Art Show on 106.6 FM Wycombe Sound. I'm your host, Dane Cobain. Today's been quite a sad episode. It's been a memorial episode to Sam Pritchard, who was a local DJ, events organiser and just all-round legend. As always, you can listen again on iTunes, Spotify, and on the Listen Again on the Wycombe Sound website. We're repeated every Monday night. You can reach out to me here at the studio on dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. That's dane.cobain@wycombesound.org.uk. And of course, I always want to hear from local creators and creative people. You can also find us on Facebook if you search for The Art Show on Wycombe Sound. So I'm going to leave you this week with one last song. This is Lean Down on Me by The Ilk. This is my band with Twangling Jack, Ford / Davy Boy. Sam was always a big supporter of us. In fact, on the day he died, he actually bought one of our CDs. He gave us £20 and asked us to keep the change. And he'd been supporting us at one of our shows as well. So yeah, he was always a big supporter of us. So this is for Sam. This is Lean Down on Me by The Ilk. I'll see you next week.
We started at the bottom and we met up at the top. And you don't know what you're missing till you realize it's lost. And I don't know where you're going, and I don't know where you've been, but I will walk the road with you, my friend. I met her at the crossroads, but I took a funny turn. Now the wolverines and foxes think that I'm a skeleton, and they make me run away before we get a chance to talk. But my friend, this is the road we have to walk. I think I ought to tell her that I really like her style, and I'd like to understand her and hang out for a while. And I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been, but I will walk the road with you, my friend. They're not nobody's problems, 'cause someone has gotta solve them. But you can lean down on me. And when you got nowhere to stay, I'll help you find another way. So you can lean down on me. We started at the bottom and we met up at the top. And you don't know what you're missing till you realize it's lost. And I don't know where you're going, and I don't know where you've been, but I will walk the road with you, my friend. They're not nobody's problems, 'cause someone has gotta solve them. But you can lean down on me. And when you've got nowhere to stay, I'll help you find another way. So you can lean down on me. She said she couldn't stand it when he